Good morning, church. Here are your weekly announcements.
Hey, good morning, church family. When is the last time you went bowling? Yeah, maybe for some of us it's been a really long time, but hey, church anniversary is coming up November 17th. We're going to have breakfast that morning before service, and then that afternoon we're all going to be heading down to Millersburg to go bowling together. The church will be providing your shoes and the first round of games, but for all the other details, you'll want to get a flyer out in the lobby today. Hey, November 17th, come on out and let's do this thing right.
Our Seat at the Table outreach has been going fantastic. Every time we have a meal, we meet new people and have fresh opportunities to reach out in love to our community and neighbors. Hey, the next Seat at the Table is coming up on November 11th. The meal's beginning at 6 o'clock, and we're asking anyone who'd love to volunteer to show up at 5 o'clock and be ready to go. We'll see you at Seat at the Table on November 11th. I'm so excited to finally be able to give you more information about our church-wide year-end giving initiative. As a church, we're going to be buying presents for 6 young people who will be spending their Christmas at the Christian Children's Home of Ohio. Here's a new friend of mine, Dan Franks, to give us some more information.
I'm Dan Franks, and I'm the Director of Development at the Christian Children's Home of Ohio, which is located just north of Worcester. And we're so glad that you want to invest in our children this Christmas season and really show them in tangible ways that they are loved. Our purpose is to help people experience their worth in Christ. And children come to us from all over the state of Ohio, victims of abuse and neglect. Let me share with you just a couple of stories. We have a boy who's now 11 years old who was put up for adoption when he was a baby. And that adoptive family then at 10 years old dropped him off at the hospital and said, "We don't want him anymore." And then he was placed in a foster family. He started to bond with his mother, who then was shortly after that given the diagnosis of cancer and was in a hospital, and then unspeakable things happened to him. So then he came to us at the Christian Children's Home, and one of the first things that he told one of our staff members was, "In a month, you won't like me." Which makes sense, right? If you think about it. This is a boy who has experienced rejection time after time after time, and now he feels like he's not worthy of being loved and cared for. And I'll have another story for you. A teenage boy who came to us just a few days before Christmas a few years ago, and he wasn't expecting anything for Christmas from his family. And Christmas morning, he came downstairs, and someone had purchased him Christmas gifts, and he was so overwhelmed, he couldn't handle it. He ran back to his room barricaded and just broke down. He couldn't believe that someone who didn't even know him loved him enough to buy him Christmas gifts. So that's what you're really doing by being a part of the Christian Children's Home in this initiative, is that you are showing our kids that they are loved, that a stranger understands how valuable they are and wants to show them in a tangible way that they are loved. And when we talk about Jesus being loved, it's more than just words. It's actions. They're experiencing it. And for some of them, they're experiencing it for the very first time. We had a teenage girl with us who came to campus, and she grew up in a family that practiced the occult. And when she came to us, she said, "I don't know if God's for real, because I've never seen him at work, but I've seen the devil at work." Well, before she left our campus, she ended up committing her life to Christ and was baptized with us. And the reason why is because she saw our staff members loving on her and loving on others even when it was hard. And for the first time in her life, she said, "I saw God at work," and God became real to her. And your gifts of love this Christmas season is making God real to our kids at Christian Children's Home of Ohio. And I can't thank you enough for doing that.
Now listen, we are the only church, the only people that will be buying gifts this year for these 6 specific young people. As of today, they are our kids, and we are not going to let them down this Christmas. Here's what you do. Go find the tree in the foyer after service today and pull off a tag. Every tag has gift information on it, as well as instructions. Follow those instructions and you win in the life of a young person. It's just that easy. You know what I'd love at the end of service today? That there would be no tags left on that tree. Thank you so much for making a difference in the lives of these kids this Christmas. Well, those are today's announcements. It is now time to dismiss our kids to their classes. Today marks the beginning of a new series. It's the We That Changed the World. We'll be right back with Pastor Brad.